Oppenheimer is the first Hollywood movie that I went to watch in IMAX after 5 years. The cast was amazing, the acting was fabulous. Two main characters that I happened to be known before were Cillian Murphy and Robert Downey Jr. In trailer, when I saw Robert Downey Jr. playing another character and not a hero, I was really excited to watch the acting of that guy into another role. Because I've always pictured Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, not a strong supporter, almost villain type role. Last Friday, Barbie and Oppenheimer were released together. Which one would you watch first? According to the internet data, most of the people are saying Barbie, yet the reason is not clear. Might be the case that Oppenheimer is related to physics and it is a movie which requires a little bit of brain to understand actually what's going on. If you want to understand deeply what's happening in the movie except for just storyline and character, the director Christopher Nolan and the cast has done fabulous job to hook you in the movie, even though it is deeply related to physics and atomic science. If you want to understand this movie very deeply and actually know the supporting story behind it, there are some of the things that you can do before watching it or even after watching it. This is the video of Veritasium which I watched just before going to the movie, and this video covers most of the part of how atomic bomb is made, what is the struggle behind it, what is the past future of atomic bomb. It is very well explained in it. After watching this long video, I felt like I know most of the story about Oppenheimer. But after watching the movie, I felt like there were so many things which were not covered in the video, like the story part of Oppenheimer, which could be only seen in the movie and not the video. When you watch the movie after watching this video, you will feel like you are connecting all the dots. And the second thing that you need to deeply enjoy this movie is love towards physics and the basic knowledge that you get into school. If you are going to school, then you are all set. If you know the importance of these people like Niels Bohr, some experiments of Rutherford, Albert Einstein work, what publishing a paper means, how much work gets into quantum calculation, who discovered quantum physics, what is quantum physics, these terms will help you understand and connect to the movie very deeply, that it is not easy to do all this stuff in real life. If you just watch this movie, you will understand it 70%. If you watch the first video that I told you, then you will understand to 90%. And if you have the knowledge of second step that I told you, then you will understand about 97% of the movie. The remaining 3% depends on your general knowledge, that what is the meaning of security clearance, why are presidents stupid, why is politics selfish, stuff like that. A very big shock that I got after reaching home when I watched a YouTube video, I realized that Christopher Nolan has not used CGI in this movie. I was rerunning entire movie in my brain that wait a minute, no CGI? But it is true. The director Christopher Nolan loves to shoot the direct scene because according to him, it creates more depth than CGI. All this conversation summarizes that you need a little bit of smartness to understand the depth of the movie. If you're expecting a porno after going into the theater, then probably you are at the wrong place. There are some scenes into the movie which sprinkles the thought of making out with each other. To be honest, there was a need of that kind of scene as well, and I hope it would be inside the Oppenheimer story as well. To be honest, Oppenheimer was very open-minded person. He made out with two people despite of having a wife. I'm trying not to reveal the story, but in movie you can see Cillian Murphy naked 95%, but yeah, he's not wearing any kind of clothes at one part. After coming home from watching the movie, I couldn't sleep. Just one thought was going into my brain: this picture. Just because we are building it doesn't mean that we got to decide how it's used. Oppenheimer is known as the father of atomic bomb because he was leading the operation, leading the research, leading the process of creation of this atomic bomb. But he was doing it under the watch of government in general. This is so simple but so true, that if you are working under somebody, if you're working for them, then they are using your smartness, they are respecting you until you are needed, and when you have done the work, you'll probably receive some fame for it, and when the work is completed, you have delivered the thing and they have complete control over your invention now, they threw you into receiver. If you're lucky, you might get a little bit of fame here and there, but that fame is also toxic. How? For this you gotta watch the movie though. I couldn't leak it. The movie also depicts the game that politicians play. The movie clears the past so much. It explains how the arms race was about to start, why these bombs were created at the first place, why the need of higher and higher energy, higher and higher kilotons of TNT bombs were needed. It also explains why more and more powerful bombs will keep getting made. At the beginning, I didn't knew that this movie was 3 hours long. When I was watching the movie in the first half before the interval. The exact middle part was a little bit boring. I felt like it was getting stretched. I thought, why is there no interval? At that time, I realized that the movie is actually 3 hours long. Second half is completely hooked up. At the end, they also show the trial, not trial. What would you say that? A room conversation, a fake room conversation, which was completely duped. At the end, when things start getting to reveal and you connect all the dots from the movie, you come to a conclusion at the end that who's the villain actually, why is the hero struggling so much. Since I don't have the knowledge of what is security clearance, I couldn't understand the part when the Oppenheimer didn't get the security clearance, but he is still alive. Like, he doesn't have any problem living with that. Apart from that, I understood in the entire movie. I was getting the real feeling of what Oppenheimer must have gone through when he was at the trial. Not actually trial, it was just a room board meeting. The best learning I can take from this movie is when you get famous, when you're smart, when you have something extraordinary, you get to know three types of people. One, who are ultra caring and always truthful for you, and they are well wishers. Second, you create enemies. No matter how good you are, but you create enemies. Third, the people who seems loyal but actually are using you for their own good and will not even hesitate to push you in the sewer when the time comes. I appreciate the idea of director of shooting most of the part of film from the camera directly and not computerizing it. One similarity I found is just like Albert Einstein was proved to be stupid in his school days, Oppenheimer was also not good at practical things. He has messed up in his lab so many times. I love how the director was able to sneak in some love story parts in this movie as well. I was gonna rate this movie 8 out of 10, but when I get the knowledge that this was without CGI, I give it 8.5. Well, after going through all of the process, you can still expect to not understand some parts of the movie because the director is well known for creating such kind of movies. He's the director of Interstellar as well. The main screen time was obviously given to Oppenheimer role, Dr. Oppenheimer role, which was played by Cillian Murphy, and he absolutely nailed it. Even though I was staring him the entire movie, he was absolutely looking cool in every shot. Even though smoking kills, but when he was holding the cigarettes, he was looking absolutely killer. Is it a one-time watch movie? I'd probably say yes. Would I watch it again? Some scenes I can on YouTube or somewhere, but I would not watch the entire movie. I mean, why would I watch it again? It doesn't even have sex scene. One secret, Albert Einstein is also in the movie. He looks a little bit of fat. That's about it. See ya.